Good morning. Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? Let me see here. Hey Lex. Yeah, this case is something else, isn't it? Hey Grandma Sherry, I'm so glad you're here. Hi Daddy's baby girl, Michelle. Evil Queen Yaya. Well, I hope you enjoy the replay. Ooh, mopping the floors? No, thank you. I will pass on that. It's like my least favorite chore. But I think it's because, like, I'll do the Swiffer every other day, but then, once a week or every other week, I like to get down and do like hand mopping. I don't know why. It just feels like it's more thorough. So I hate it. Mhm. Hey, Weedleby. Weedle. I said that wrong at first. Weedleby. Hi, Sarah. Hey, Cheesy. Krug's wifey. That's a new name. Hey, welcome. Hey, Notre Dame. Small wildflowers. Hi, Jeffrey. Good morning, blank screen bondsman. Are you stuck with that name for a while? Is that it? I'm just curious how many people got stuck with it. Morning, pecan and suitor. Hey, Kate, how are you? So, this case, I originally heard of it when Chasing Truth shared a community post. Uh, she shared it when I was in the hospital with Red, and I just was kind of scrolling through social media, a little bit of downtime, and I saw her. She might have done a short on it. It was either a community post or a short. Either way, I listened to it and I thought, oh, this is such a bizarre case. But then when I got back home, Clara did a live on her. And then I really started digging into her case. And Mikayla Standridge, she's up here in the corner of my screen. She's such a beautiful young lady. But she's been missing for over a month now. Well, yes, over a month now. She went missing on April 21st. And it's kind of under some peculiar circumstances. Morning, Pixie, Kiko. Okay, so I think the first video I'm gonna share with you is the news report, like the news information that they did. And I think that'll give us a little a nice a nice base to work with.
Skagit County woman. Family and friends have joined local authorities trying to find 25-year-old Mikayla Standridge. She was last seen outside a home in Concrete trying to call 911 for help, but when she was finally connected, her phone died. Thank you for joining us. I'm Monique Minglavin.
And I'm Aaron Wright. Cairo 7's Jake Chapman is live in Concrete near the Skagit River, where another search is underway right now. Jake, you've been speaking with family and the police. What can you tell us?
Well, right now, guys, police have wrapped up their search efforts for the day, but they plan to be back out here tomorrow. But they've combed this entire area we're standing in right now. They've even taken their search to the Skagit River, which is right over my shoulder here. They've had boats going up and down. They've even taken their search to the skies with drones, and they had a helicopter fly over here just this afternoon. But right now, family and friends who've traveled near and far to search for Michaela say they're going to be out here for as long as it takes.
Michaela, if you see this and you're out there, we just want you to know that you are loved very, very much.
It's been almost a week since anyone has seen or heard from 25-year-old Mikayla Standridge.
This is just a horrible nightmare our family's going through. You don't think that this is going to happen to your family, and then when it does, it's a nightmare.
Now friends and family are taking it upon themselves to search for her, combing the area she was last seen in, even handing out these flyers with their own personal numbers on them.
Text me, call me, send me a picture. I'll drop what I'll do and I'll come to her if I know it's her.
Her aunt tells us she'd been staying in this neighborhood recently and was trying to call for help last Friday. But sadly, that call never went through. The Skagit County Sheriff's Office confirming that information as they continue their search. Deputies showing us where they've been looking the past week, hoping to find anything that can lead to Michaela, even though this has been a tough time for the family.
It may seem like we're not understanding what they're doing. Is it not, we don't think it's happening fast enough, but this is our kid that's missing.
They remember the good times.
She's a bright light.
She's a sweet kid. She's loving and wonderful.
When she comes in the room, she's bouncy. She's loud, but in a fun way.
As they're ready for her to come home.
We really want her home. It's really important.
We just want you to come home. We love you. I want you to know that. Don't let anybody keep you from your family. Please come home, Michaela.
Just a tough situation for a lot of people out here in Skagit County. But this is the flyer that they've been handing out throughout the past week. Right here, it has her age, it has what she was last wearing, what she looks like. Again, if you have any information, you are urged to call the Skagit County Sheriff's Office as well as family members. But coming up in the next hour, we take a deeper dive into the search efforts and what challenges law enforcement can have when they search for a missing person.
Okay, I was unable to locate that video that KIRO did about the search efforts, so I don't know if it was just something they didn't put on their website or if I'm just missing it. But if anyone finds that video and you can get it to me, that would be great. I spent quite a while looking for it and could not find it. Good morning to everyone else coming in. I see you. Hey, Spudler. Ava, thank you. Hey, Burden. Good morning, Eric. Yeah, so that's just kind of like a general overview of her case of, there's this on the early morning hours of April 21st, there's this 911 call. And great question, blank screen. We don't know. Allegedly, she was heard screaming help in the background of the call. And it was enough for, it was enough for law enforcement to send out, to dispatch out and go look into it because they received that call and they could, hear something in the background that sounded like help. So they went out and started searching for her then, or at least investigated it, but we'll kind of get back to that in just a second. I kind of want to stay in an order I've got going on here. I'm going to share this real quick because Google Earth bogs down my laptop. So I want to go through and share. I'm not going to share the exact location she went missing because I have not seen that reported anywhere. But it's easy to figure out if you do a little digging into it. But she was over here in this general vicinity was where the 911 call came from. Then a few days later, her phone was found down here. I don't know which spot down here, but it was one of these that had a bank. So it had to have been pretty close here. Now her family's adds an extra layer to this, but her family has said that they had done searches on the banks of this river previously and had not found her phone. And then a few days later, it was found. So they feel like that's really peculiar. One of her aunts who is speaking out on this case says that there's no way my niece went into the river. Another thing that media is not sharing and law enforcement isn't sharing is that 15 minutes after the 911 call, she made a call to her dad. Now that call was not connected because he didn't hear it to answer it or whatever. It was, 5:00 in the morning. He didn't answer. So it is a little odd that she had a 911 call up here that was disconnected. And it's several media reports have said because her phone died. So I don't think it was because her phone died if 15 minutes later she made another call. But the aunt swears she wouldn't have gone to the river, especially at that time, and she doesn't know how to swim, and they just don't see a need for her to have gone to the river. But that's just what they claim. We don't know exactly what she did, right? Yes, Ellie, we're going to get into that. She is. She went missing on April 21st. So she has been missing for over a month now. Okay, lip lock, be careful driving, hon. Um, that's a thought. Now, they have done several searches of the river. Law enforcement did 2 days worth of searching, and then the family themselves have done some searching too. Morning, Skip to my Lou. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, it's a very small community. Let me zoom out. Very rural. I mean, the town, this is Concrete is the name of the town that she was in. She was at her boyfriend's house. Um, so she was over here in this area of Concrete, which is even smaller. But the whole town of Concrete has less than 1,000 people, I think, is what it was. So it's a very small rural area in Washington. This is in Washington. So it's very possible, like you said, that it could have been, it could have just dropped. Doesn't necessarily mean her phone died. It could have dropped the call, perhaps. I agree. No, we'll get into that too. So let me see here. I'm going to share this missing poster first. This is Mikayla Standridge. She was last seen on April 21st in the area of, I'm not going to say this right, so I'm so sorry to my Washington people. I was saying Saget, but they said it differently on the news, and I haven't processed it yet. But anyway, she went missing in the area of the Saget View Drive in Concrete, Washington. She was last seen wearing blue jeans and a black shirt. Michaela was possibly seen being driven away in a silver car. We'll get to that. If you see Michaela or have any information on her whereabouts, you are asked to contact the County Sheriff's Department at this number, 360-416-1911. Now, there's a couple other posters I'll share with you guys throughout this, but I wanted to share this one because it has her accurate information. She's 25. She has blonde and pink hair, and she has blue eyes. She's 5'2", and she weighs between 90 and 100 pounds. The other posters leave off some of that information for some reason, and they also have like the aunt's personal number, which, I mean, fine, you want to put your personal number down, but I want to make sure to give you guys this number, the county sheriff's department's number. There's also another number I just saw before coming live. It is the Crime Stoppers number. It's 1-800-222-TIPS. So that's another number that you can call as well for this situation if you have any information about Michaela. Morning, Ninny. Good morning, struggle is real. This is a nice, clear, I'm going to go through some of her pictures real quick because her appearance kind of is, it's a little different in each photo. And so it might be hard for some people to, I don't know, recognize her because her appearance does seem slightly different. This photo and the one that I chose to put as the logo, and I shared this flyer out yesterday. It's just nice, clear image of her face. Her hair is pink. I'm not for sure if her hair is short or long now, but you get a great view of what she looks like in the face from this one. And then, this one's from last, or maybe 2 years ago, but it's very, I wouldn't have recognized that as the same person. And, here's another image that they're sharing of her. Filters don't help. I mean, when you have all these pictures with filters on them, it is very hard to grasp facial features from that. So I was very thankful to find that one where it's nice and clear. So here's this, and I guess this is where I thought she had short hair, but maybe it's just her hair up in a ponytail and the side pieces down. But to me, in this picture, she looks quite a bit older. Her mom shared out the clear picture of her and said it's the most up to date photo. So again, this could just be because of the way the sun hit. And then there's that one. But I think this one gives us a great view of her facial features and what she looks like. You are not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. So there's also the fact that 5 days before Michaela went missing, she posted this on her Facebook. On April 16th at 3:29 p.m., she posted, "If I ever go missing or anything, just know I didn't leave." What do you guys think about that? I know I haven't given you a ton of information yet so far, but what do you think about this being posted on someone's Facebook account? I don't know if it's Facebook or Instagram, but this being posted, and then 5 days later she goes missing. That's very peculiar in my eyes. Weedleby says it sounds like an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. Yeah, and I think it's very, very weird. Very weird. I mean, what does the okay. Great question. Great question. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it has to be fishy. You instantly log this in your brain as fishy, like, so close. I mean, I can understand finding it on her Facebook years ago or, it being something that was a meme that was shared and people being like, "Oh, that's whatever, it's not connected." But this was 5 days before. This was something she wrote up. It's just one of those background things. To me, she had a gut. Yeah, I agree, Winnie the Pup. Sounds like she did have a gut feeling about something. Hey, Bad Apple. Listening in while I cook, been curious. Yeah, thank you, Bad Apple. I appreciate that. It's a possibility. I haven't read or seen anything saying that. However, the family has shared some things that kind of lead you to believe that. I'm not for sure though. Hey, Skilo. Hey, Michelle. I feel she was aware of some. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it's yeah, it's peculiar in my mind. I'm gonna go with that. This is the poster that the family was sharing out. Basically, all the other same information that I'd already given you, but it has the aunt's number on there, and the aunt wants you to contact her. Now we'll get to that. Hang on, let me see. Let's go over this one article real quick before I move into the Facebook post. So, this is from their local daily news, Cascadia Daily News. And this was they originally posted it on the 26th. So this was 5 days after she went missing. Says Mikayla Standridge went missing at 5 a.m. on April 21st off of the Saget View Drive in Concrete. Now her family is probing for answers and organizing a search party to begin Thursday morning, April 27th. Standridge, who was 25, was last seen running out of a house. You see that last scene running out of a house she was staying at on Saget View Drive. If someone wants to tell me how to say that, I'm more than happy to change it. The morning of April 21st, Standridge's aunt, Marty Maritone, said in a phone call Wednesday. Standridge then called 911 before the phone hung up and dispatch was unable to reach her, Maritone said. No one has seen or heard from her since. Standridge is described as weighing 100 pounds with blonde hair, blonde and pink hair, and bright blue eyes. And she does have very bright blue eyes. I'm praying, but it doesn't look good. Now Maritone is hoping to organize a search party Thursday after hearing that the Saget County Sheriff's Office is searching the area near where she was last seen. Sheriff's Deputy Brad Holmes told CDN Wednesday night he wasn't yet aware of Thursday's search plans. We've been searching for the last 2 days, Holmes said. I would imagine the search will continue tomorrow, but I can't confirm. Maritone is asking for help from the community in searching for Standridge, although she doesn't have an exact location yet for where people can look. I'm going to sit there, find a deputy, and see where their search party is at, Maritone said. They had search and rescue near Saget View Drive yesterday. Small team, just looking for clues. She's hoping law enforcement will allow the public to park in a large gravel pit near the intersection of South Saget Highway and Wilderness Drive. The sheriff's office hasn't been telling me a whole lot, Maritone said. I got word from family earlier today that the sheriff's office is going to put 2 boats in the water. That was on Thursday, and have a bunch of people out working the area. I won't know anything more. And see if the gravel pit will be open. Bring hiking boots, something to drink, hiking sticks. Mertone called Standridge a bright light, one who would make anyone smile no matter what. Standridge also had a little boy, Madden, who was around 2 years old. She always wants to laugh, Maritone said. Always wants to help people. She'll call you out of the blue just to say hi. She wasn't given a big chance in life. Had a really rough life. Her parents checked out on her. It's been 2 aunts and grandparents raising her. She's a beautiful girl and ran into the wrong people. And then it talks about her missing flyer and the Facebook group. So we get a little bit of clues from this, right? And she tells us that, she does have a son, which breaks my heart, but that she had a rough life and her parents checked out. Now, this is an aunt saying this. Let's go. Oh, hey, Ninny C. Thank you for joining. For those that aren't aware, 100% of the profits from memberships will be donated to a great cause, and we will have proof and receipts of that to members. Yes, they did, Pecan. The aunt did share on Facebook that the way she worded it was that the information that came back from her phone didn't produce anything, but then she also said that Michaela has multiple phones. So I don't know. When I was with my abusive ex, I wrote and hid a letter in my house so Ellie would know who did it. Oh, she might have been scared to do that felony mailing, but then she puts this post on her public Facebook post, so her current boyfriend would have seen that, right? Yes, so she did go missing from her boyfriend's home. Um, Cheesy Weezy? Me too. And I can't put my finger on it as to why, and maybe it's just the person that speaks out and speaks often becomes kind of like a, "Hey, what's going on here?" But I had a family member who warned us with similar message 2 weeks later. Oh, Hazel, I'm so sorry. Oof. Scoggett. Scoggett? Is that right? Scott. Okay, we'll go with that. If not aware of a threat, she was depressed and trying to say she was I don't know. And I think that's why some people are worried about the river, right? I've made sure I've taken pictures of my kids without filter. Yes, that's a great, great point. Make sure that you take pictures of your loved ones or have pictures of your loved ones without filters for this very reason, because it's very hard to, determine what a person truly looks like if you don't have a clear picture. Morning, Tracy. I think Aunt kind of thinks she's so the aunt is a bounty hunter or was a bounty hunter at one point. Equish So, another person who has spoke out on this case is Doug, and I can't remember what his new company is. Is it Chaos Divers? I don't think they've gone and done any searching or anything like that, but I did see a TikTok from him sharing out the information about the case. She could have, Sarah. Great point. She could have just blocked him from it. Yep. True, Steffi. Yep. She did. She did. She kind of, wandered around a little bit from what I'm getting, sleeping on I don't wanna say sleeping on various couches, but, like, yeah, I think she stayed at different places. I don't have any interview from the boyfriend, and I'll go ahead and show you guys this now. So this I'm not gonna put his name out there, you guys can find it on your own pretty easily, but he has not done any interviews, and he has not media and law enforcement haven't shared his name, so I'm not going to. But they started their relationship, or at least made it Facebook official, on January 25th. Okay, so Pecan and Notre Dame have two different. I don't even know what you're trying to describe, Pecan. I'll listen to the video again. Let's just do that real quick. I think they say it at the very beginning. I'll get it in my head. I don't wanna say it wrong.
Skagit County woman,
Skagit,
family and friends have
right?
joined the local.
Okay, Skagit.
Skagit County woman, family and friends have. Skagit County woman, family.
Skagit. Thank you. Okay, we got it now. Skagit County woman. Skagit. All right. Sorry about that. I do want to say it correctly though, so I appreciate you guys bearing with me through that. That's a good possibility, Cheesy. Maybe a little overbearing. I don't know. Yep. Bounty hunter. Hey, Rowena, thank you for joining. So it hasn't been confirmed by law enforcement. There was a Fox News article. I'll find that for you guys in a second. I meant to pull it up and then forgot to. There was a Fox article from a local reporter who waited like 3 weeks to put out an article because he's like, I don't put out articles unless I get information from law enforcement. And he said he had been emailing with law enforcement and they weren't returning his emails. So it took them 3 weeks to put out an article. I'm pretty sure it was mentioned in there. But other than that, I haven't seen anyone besides the aunt confirm that there was a call to dad 15 minutes later. You don't think he looks like a nice guy? He kind of, from my research, he's kind of been all over the country and bounces around. But I haven't seen anything, like, horribly negative about him. Yeah, um, I'm not ready to go there yet and share, like, all the information I found on him just because I don't want people to turn him into a suspect or fodder on these, crazy YouTube streets when we have no proof of him being involved at this point. But I do wanna make you guys aware of him. He's also the one that allegedly said that he saw her getting into a silver vehicle. So that's kinda, right? Eh. It took me a long time. It took me a while. Took me a while. We got there. We got there. You hadn't seen any news on it? Ah, and you're only 45 miles over. That's horrible. Yep, like gadget with we got there. So let me stop that and go back to this. So here are, oh, let me take the comment down. Here are some posts from her aunt. Now this one was on, and I'm putting her name out there because she has spoke with media and has put it out there. And she says that I'm praying for information that leads to the direct location of my niece, or paying, sorry, not praying. There is a reward, but there's no amount given for a reward. She just says that there is a reward for information. I'm home for now with no new anything. I'm going to be making phone calls and trying to get her face out there some more. I don't know what else to do. Please don't ask me for updates because I have none. My heart is absolutely breaking. They won't tell me where to search. They won't tell me what they found. And I don't want to hear, oh, they had to investigate. Nobody is treating this like it's their kid missing, and that's what they need to do. My niece doesn't stop missing at a certain time. I don't care about convictions. I care about finding my niece. Find her first. This telling family members to stay home and wait, is that what anybody would do? My online activity was mentioned. Well, you know what? I'm looking for my missing niece who I consider my own kid. What would you do? I have practically begged for help. I'm not taking her being gone for good as an answer. I hear a desperate woman here, like she desperately wants answers. But then there's also some undertones of, like she is demanding more from law enforcement. And I don't know that they can give it to her because she's an aunt. She's not the parent. And maybe with, her working with law enforcement in the past, if she did, maybe there's some things going on there. Yeah, stitching, that would be a great idea. They might. But if it's her boyfriend's community and not hers, they might not. Oh, wow, you haven't heard of it either, Purple? Wow. I can't believe how little have seen it. Hey, Gabe. So that's the first post from the aunt. And then this was just on May 10th. She says, I honestly don't believe she went into the river on her own, and if that's where she's at. After she made that 911 call screaming for help, she made another phone call about 15 minutes later. So, no, she did not run to the river and fall in. There are witnesses that saw things that night, and there are pictures and videos of things. She told us things just before she went missing. What are these things? Do law enforcement know these things? I mean, if you're going to put that out there publicly, like what? What are the things? I don't know. It's just very weird. If you could get somebody to listen to me and not threaten me with getting charged, I will not let my niece be written up as just another missing person in concrete. What would the charges be for? Like, what what is being talked about here? I'm truly confused by this one. I hope they're not either. And I'm going to show you that I don't think they are. Yeah, it's very, very weird. Then, okay. Now, this is a post from Michaela's other aunt. So there's some aunts involved here. However, it's I cut off the aunt's name and who was tagged in it, but the person tagged in it was Michaela's mother. And she says, "My sister," which would be Michaela's mom, "and I would like to thank the" oh my gosh, I was going to say it wrong again. Anyway, they're thanking the county sheriff's department and detectives, especially one very special detective that has been amazing to my sister and I, for their graciousness with our broken hearts during this difficult time. They do keep in contact with us weekly, sometimes daily. They do care and have spent many hours searching for our beloved Michaela by boat, four-wheelers, drones, helicopters, search and rescue dogs, and many man hours on the ground. In fact, they were out looking today. I was in concrete and saw for myself the effort it takes. I would also like to thank the wonderful people that have allowed our family and law enforcement on their private property to look for Michaela, and the two very kind deputy sheriffs I talked with today. We as a family and Michaela's mother and father do go out and search for Michaela every chance we all get. We work, we have children to care for, and other commitments. We try to keep things somewhat normal, even though it's not normal, not at all. We have to trust in law enforcement and their years of experience and training in dealing with missing persons. We love and miss Michaela every second of the day. We have shed thousands of tears and endured the cruelness of people's opinions on our efforts to try and find our loved one. We have also experienced extreme kindness too. Just know Michaela is being looked for. She is cared for. She is loved and missed. And the county sheriff's department have been working hard to find her. This is public. Please share. We want people and the community to know that a lot of efforts are going into searching for Michaela. She is number one in all of this. Now, in my opinion, this was shared because the other aunt has so many posts saying that law enforcement's not doing anything. Her other family's not helping. Multiple things like that. So this aunt, along with the mom tagged, created this post to say that they are doing something. Yep, two very different stories are happening. Nope, I wouldn't fault a loved one of a missing person for being pushy either. I agree. Yes, yes, there was. Yeah, and there's also so see here. We'll go through these. So this was underneath the post and it said, "Thank you for sharing your side of the story because other stories have been reported that the police aren't doing anything and there hasn't been any searches or investigations done. We are praying for her safe return and our hearts go out to your family and friends." And then the aunt says, "It was time to share it. Unfortunately, too much misrepresentation was being," she meant misinformation, but she said misrepresentation, "was being spoken and it was causing an extreme amount of heartache on top of everything else we are going through." And then they said, "I'm so glad you did." Oh, that was something different. So this is where Marty shares that she is a licensed bail bonds recovery agent, and the sheriff's office will not work with her. "I've been threatened with charges for going to talk to people and asking if I can look around their property because it's a wooded area. Believe me, I have a lot of information and they won't listen." Now, I can see where she's saying I've been threatened with charges, but if she just is going to people banging on their doors and saying, "Can I search your property?" and that person doesn't want them to, could it have just been law enforcement saying, "Hey, you could get a trespassing charge if you don't do things properly"? Like, I'm just kind of curious what the threatened with charges was. I thought there was another one that I had. but I guess not. But yeah, this one was from the aunt and her mother. Now, her mother had to lock down her Facebook, and her original posts, I couldn't see it because her Facebook was now private. However, a friend had shared the post, and the mom has been sharing stuff since the very beginning of Michaela going missing. So I'm not sure where this disconnect is happening of the parents aren't doing anything. There was a post from, and that's what I thought that's what I was looking for. I thought I had on there. It was a post from the grandma under one of the aunts things, and she was like, "I just want us all to get along and work together." So it sounds like the grandma of these, two aunts and mother, the mom of them, was kind of like, "Hey, we need to knock it off and work together to find our Michaela." And that's a possibility. So, yeah, that's a possibility. Mhm. She could be, and so maybe those are the threats she's talking about, saying, she could be, if you keep up with these things, you could be charged with, interfering with an investigation. But she claims she has, videos and, she said videos, maybe it's just testimony from people and other information, and she's trying to reach out to law enforcement and they're not getting back in contact with her. I'm just confused, like, call the tip line, that tip line that she shared, like, mm, I don't know. So this is, and I actually heard someone, I think this might be the statement, basically the same statement that, if you guys were listening to Queens yesterday, the Glare was talking about it, and he said that he got a message back from the aunt. He had reached out to her, and she had sent this email that had a basically a message from the family. Well, when he was reading it off, I was like, I've heard that before. And it came from Mind of Monsters. I'm not saying his did. I think it's just the same message being shared with multiple creators. And so I will drop their link in our thing, but we're going to go ahead and listen to this real quick. And I do believe this is from the aunt. So this is a message from the aunt.
Hey y'all, Mind the Monsters. Sunshine here. So on your screen you see Miss Mikayla Standridge. This is a case that I had a family member reach out to me. I actually shared this case on my Twitter. I was creeping around the YouTube streets, and there's a YouTuber that I do not support, but there was a guest on that channel that was Doug from Chaos Divers, and he was mentioning her name and her missing case, and he seemed really concerned. So I did share her on my Twitter, and I had a family member reach out to me on Twitter. I had a friend of the family reach out to me on my community wall, and then I actually had a family member reach out to me on Twitter, who then sent me an email with some information that I'd like to share with you guys. Right, this is from her aunt. It says, "My niece has been missing since April 21st, 2023. The circumstances behind her disappearance are very strange and concerning. At 2:30 a.m. the morning, she was calling people for a ride home from her boyfriend's house out of Concrete, Washington, because they were arguing and she wanted to get away from him. She spoke to her father, and that's all I know."
So that's new information that we haven't heard before. That at 2:30 in the morning, she was calling people looking for a ride to get away from him. I can listen to that again. I think that's enough.
It says, "My niece has been missing since April 21st, 2023. The circumstances behind her disappearance are very strange and concerning. At 2:30 a.m. the morning, she was calling people for a ride home from her boyfriend's house out of Concrete, Washington, because they were arguing and she wanted to get away from him. She spoke to her father, and that's all I know. Between 4:30 and 5 a.m., she made a 911 call to dispatch. Dispatch heard her screaming, 'Help, help, help,' and then the phone was disconnected. Approximately 15 minutes later, she called her dad, but he did not answer. The boyfriend said he heard screaming, 'Help.' He did not call 911. He said he heard a car driving away. and her screaming help, and he did not call 911. Then he said he saw a silver car and did not call 911. He says she ran out of the house screaming in bare feet. He never called 911. He never called family. Her brother called the boyfriend's house about 5 p.m. to ask.
What do you guys think about that so far? So far, the aunt has claimed that the boyfriend has said that she did all of these things. She was running out of the house. He saw a silver car driving away. He didn't call 911. He heard her screaming for help. He didn't call 911. I'm not, I don't want us to put the blame on him. Oh, thank you, Mind of Monsters. I hope you don't mind us playing it, and we'll keep dropping your link throughout. But I thought this was very important to hear. And I don't want us to instantly jump on the boyfriend, though. We have to, be objective here. We don't know. This is just what we're being told from a family member. And I can tell that her aunt is crushed and worried. But she said at the beginning of this that she spoke with her father earlier in the night. Now, I haven't seen or heard anything about her father, like from her father. So I'm very curious about that.
Ask where his sister was. The boyfriend said she took off around 4:30 a.m. and hadn't come back. Her brother called and her father, and he called the boyfriend and got the same story. Family immediately started searching and called 911. At first, the sheriff said it was probably on drugs and in a mental state, even though the boyfriend had 3 different stories. We asked for search and rescue and tracking dogs. We were told it fell through. We asked for thermal imaging drone, didn't see that. The following Monday, a detective was assigned, and Tuesday, a small search party from the sheriff's office was deployed. It wasn't a search and rescue team with search dogs. Sometimes over the next couple of days, her phone and blanket were found by the river on a beach in some bushes. It was a spot that had been already searched several times by family and friends. Those items were not previously there. After 2 weeks of waiting, the family hired search dogs, and the search dogs didn't even go in the area where the items were found. The dogs walked around the boyfriend's house and didn't even go near the cars where she knew she had been in. Didn't go near the porch and didn't go anywhere that she had been. We saw them tails up, ears up, signaling no scent. Maybe it was too late to pick up anything, or maybe she didn't go near the river like people were made to think.
Now, I know a lot of people in this community put a lot of stock into search dogs. If you've been following other cases that are shared here on YouTube, like, in my opinion, people put too much stock into dogs. Dogs aren't perfect. I've seen case after case after case where dogs don't pick up anything, and then a missing loved one is found in that area later. There's a case that happened on the Appalachian Trail where dogs never hit on her and came within like 100 yards of her a couple of different times, and she was found later. So I don't put a ton of stock into dogs, but I know a lot of people do, and it is very interesting that there was no trail found down to the river.
2 days ago, the sheriff's office finally deployed search and rescue with their dogs and found nothing. They put boats in the water and found nothing. This is such a sad story, y'all. It's because she's not in the water. My niece can't swim, and she's terrified of the water. My niece is afraid of the dark and won't go anywhere alone. 10 days before my niece went missing, she told myself and her mother about her boyfriend and his father and some friends being involved in human trafficking. She was telling the truth. Her boyfriend.
Okay. Now I want you to remember that this is not verified. I saw Papa Jones is in here. So the 911 call has been verified. Absolutely has been verified. Um, the searches have been verified. those sort of things. The other things are just alleged. But she's claiming here that, what was it, 10 days prior, she had a phone call from Michaela where they were talking about trafficking.
10 days before my niece went missing, she told myself and her mother about her boyfriend and his father and some friends being involved in human trafficking. She was telling the truth. Her boyfriend has extensive criminal record, includes several counts of aggravated assaults with domestic violence. He's from Arizona and has many Hispanic friends. We got her out that day. He lured her back into his car with a puppy and took her back to his house. He lives with his father.
So you all were asking earlier if there was any proof of domestic violence. And the aunt claims, there's this conversation of human trafficking, and then the way she says, we got her out that day. But then I don't understand that he lured her back with a puppy. And she's 25 years old. Like, what does that mean? Lured her back with a puppy.
We got her out that day. He lured her back into his car with a puppy and took her back to his house. He lives with his father. She's been gathering pictures, videos, messages, screenshots, anything people will send her in the area. A lot of the people in the area will not talk to police, but they will talk to her. She's also attempted to get help from the FBI, social media, and news outlets. She does not want Mikayla Marie Standridge Martone's case to fade away. She was possibly human trafficked. And guys, this girl is walking around with bright pink hair in Washington. If you have any information, please call 911 or reach out to one of the numbers found on her posters. The family would really like to bring her home safely and know that she's okay. Please share her face and her story. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Remember, if you see something, say something. Never give up. Subscribe, like, and share.
So thank you, Mind of Monsters, for sharing that with us. It's very, very eye-opening, in my opinion, of some missing pieces. So make sure you guys go to Mind of Monsters, sub up to her. Make sure you watch this video over there so she gets the views on it, and follow her for more updates. I'm sure she'll update some more. So this paints a different picture than what law enforcement and the media have put out, in my opinion. It paints the picture. Sorry, I just got an email. Paints the picture of something more nefarious than just a wandering off, in my opinion. But again, I want to keep reiterating this. Those things aren't confirmed, they are speculation. But they are good tools for us to keep in mind. That's a pretty common thing for an abuser to do, draw them back in with something that they know they love. True, very true. Okay, that's what it was. I think the email you sent me, though, love, it's just empty. I don't know if the attachment. Oh, nope, there it is. My bad. Yeah, I believed you. It was the same thing, that the glare read off, and that's why I played your video. I love that you put it all together in this video, and regardless of how people might feel about the aunt being involved, or not involved, but, speaking out too loudly or pushing too hard. You can come from the side of, if my missing loved one was, if I had a missing loved one, I'd be pushing for answers, banging on every door myself. So I get it. I get it. But then you also have, her mom and her other aunt over here saying, no, law enforcement, where is it? They are working with us, and they're working hard, and they're doing searches. They were just out. This was a post from the mom and the other aunt just 2 days ago, where they said that just the day before they were doing a search. So could it just be that this one aunt just doesn't feel like it's enough? And I get that. I get that claim of, "Oh, they're not doing enough," because I would feel like nothing is enough until my loved one comes home. I would feel like that. Yes, please keep us updated, Mind of Monsters, and thank you so much for doing it. Oh, sorry about that. So we talked about the boyfriend, just a small portion, right? And it was his home. And in this video, we learned that he actually lives with his father. And again, I'm not going to put out that address, but you can go find it. And she's got this weird post 5 days prior. There's a missing cell phone that's found in an area after family claims that they searched that area. It's all looking pretty peculiar to me. You have the boyfriend claims that he saw a silver vehicle leaving after Michaela ran out of the house screaming help. And then you have this post from a neighbor, and I did block out her name, but I did verify that it actually was a neighbor. She lives right there. Says, from what I've put together, it was her boyfriend's house she was screaming for help from, which is my next door neighbor. I was awake. I didn't hear or see anything, but I did see the cops come into the HOA as I left for work at 5:45. What do you guys make of that? And I did verify this was and is indeed a neighbor, just from looking up her name and making sure. I didn't want to share it if she wasn't a neighbor, but she is. Yep, me too, LeBlanc. I'd be screaming it everywhere. So I get that. I do. Even though I get a weird feeling, maybe it's just perception. It could just be perception, right? But I will always encourage loved ones to push, 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 and keep pushing, but always keep it factual, not emotional. That's hard to do, though, isn't it, Papa Jones? It's very hard to not put emotion into it when it is your loved one who is missing. I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, there wouldn't, but law enforcement would be able to track her down through those places and let the family know. Please read what the neighbors comment. The neighbor says that from what I put together, it was her boyfriend's house she was screaming for help from, which is my next door neighbor. I was awake. I didn't hear or see anything, but I did see the cops come into the HOA as I left for work at 5:45. Yeah. He lives with his it makes a little more sense after seeing his picture that you're like, "Wait, he lives where?" But then you find out he lives with his father. So, yeah. I just lost it. It just jumped on me. If the heart and intention were true, they could just give the pup to the person victim with no ulterior motives. But I see me outright saying, "Just give me," yeah, I get what you're saying. So there's just not. They said the aunt had a post on her Facebook that said that they couldn't find any footage from the area. Um, it looks like a really nice little area, even though it is a very small community. I can't believe they couldn't find any ring cameras. But then she also makes the claim that she has video evidence of something. I don't know what, but maybe it's ring footage. I'm not sure. They wouldn't be at liberty to discuss it with the public, but they can't update their family. So, as an adult, you have a right to be missing. And if someone files a missing persons case on you, um, law enforcement will investigate, but you still have that right to be gone and to not be sharing it with people. But law enforcement will update you that your loved one is alive and well, but she has that right to be missing. So if they haven't received that update or that information, they're going to keep. An HOA is a homeowners association. Um, Mainly in like subdivisions, you have one and they tell you how tall your grass can be cut or how far from the street trees can be planted or things like that. It's just another like mini community. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Let's see. I have one more. I thought, oh wait, I'm gonna grab that link real quick to the Fox News update and share that because that is verified information from law enforcement. So let me grab that real quick for you guys. And I know a lot of people were upset that it took, this local reporter 3 weeks to share it, but I think it's great that he waited for information from law enforcement. See if I can find it real quick. She's so beautiful and her son is so cute. He's such a little doll baby, but I don't have any information on, who's caring for the son, any of that stuff. Just a lot from, Marty saying, just asking and begging for answers. Now, where was that article? Let's see if I can find it this way. Okay, here we go. Read through this real quick before going back over to comments. So it says that detectives are looking for a woman missing since April 24th, according to authorities. So this has been confirmed. A call was placed to 911 from the cell phone of 25-year-old Mikayla Standridge Martone. Sorry, I forgot she has a dash in her last name. Also known as Michaela M. Gamble. So there's multiple names happening here. The call came in at 5:04 a.m. on April 21st, 2023, near the area of the, oh my gosh, I'm going to say it wrong again. What did we come up with? Gadget, Saget View Drive in Concrete. I don't know why that is not sticking in my brain. Anyway, during the phone call, operators heard a woman screaming and calling for help. Sheriff's deputies went to the property the phone call came from, but did not find anyone in need of help. Detectives went to a house on the property and spoke with the people living there, and their county search and rescue also searched the area. Rescue crews found Michaela's phone near the river, right by where her phone call was made. So, this is an update that Fox 13 waited for law enforcement to update them on. And they said that the phone call was made from the area where her cell phone was found. The sheriff's office searched the river with boats, drones, and helicopters, but have not found anything yet. We appreciate the community's concern in this matter. This is directly from the law enforcement, we are treating this as an active missing persons case. Our detectives will take the necessary steps to conduct a thorough investigation using the tools, facts, and evidence at our disposal, said Chief Criminal Deputy Tobin Meyer. Anyone with information on Michaela's whereabouts is urged to call 911 or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS or through the P3 Tips app. So that is official information from law enforcement that we can bank on. And those are the same images that we've shared. Come back over here. Morning, Lara. So they went to the location because of the 911 being disconnected. It wasn't from another call, it was from her call and what they heard in the background and it being a hang up. That's why they went to the other. Stay away from HOAs. If you want to be told how high your grass can be, sure. No, they don't. They sure don't, Rowena. Especially if they're putting info out, just like Steve G and that. Yep, that's right. That's so true. No, no, bother me with questions. I'll share with you everything I know. It's called the council here. But there's just not a lot of details on this case besides alleged information from the family. And that's, we've heard that in cases so many times before. So it's very, my gut on this one is, and this is just my gut opinion, I don't think it's a trafficking situation. Um, I think there's the possibility of her having gone to that river and done something, or the possibility of, foul play. But I don't think this is a trafficking situation. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I'm interested in hearing what you guys think. Gotta have a neat bush. Yeah, HOAs are a pain. They sure are. Yeah, and that one I cannot get stuck in my brain. I'm gonna listen to it over and over so I get it in there. Get it in there. Yeah, I agree, blank screens bondsman. Like, they went out and are doing an investigation, handling a missing persons case, all from a drop 911 phone call. They might not have been. What do you mean, only one family member? Yes, Western Washington. So I shared it earlier. Let me bring Google Maps back up. Or Google Earth. I don't have the exact location of where the phone was found, but I know it was found on a bank, and the two closest banks would be pretty much the same distance from the house. Okay. So she went missing from over in this area, right here. I do believe this is the View Drive, and it's they said it was just off of that drive. So she went missing from over here. I can share that since they did. And it was found on either this bank or this bank. So right up here is where her phone was found. So spot in the middle. "300 yards to this one location." And then let's see. 340, so less than 400 yards away if it was one of these locations. Add a few yards to that because I'm not putting it directly on the house she went missing from, so I'd say around 400 yards away. Might not be trafficking, but if boyfriend is dangerous person and she's telling people that he was involved, yeah, it's a possibility. It is a possibility. So we did hear something from other family members. If you came in late, and I found the post because Blair, you were showing that when I saw it on your live that it was only this one aunt speaking out, right? Well, I found that no, her mom has been sharing information about her since the beginning. And there's another aunt that has also been sharing information and has been working directly with law enforcement. And here is that post from the aunt. Let me take that comment down. We'll go over it one more time. It says, "My sister and I." So this is coming from another aunt, and she's referencing and has tagged her sister, which is Michaela's mother. So this is from Michaela's mom and another aunt. They want to thank the county sheriff's department and detectives, especially one very special detective that has been amazing to my sister and I, for their graciousness with our broken hearts during this difficult time. They do keep in contact with us weekly, sometimes daily. They do care and have spent many hours searching for our beloved Michaela by boat, four-wheelers, drones, helicopters, search and rescue dogs, and many man hours on the ground. In fact, they were out looking today. I was in concrete and saw for myself the efforts it takes. So 2 days ago, they were out searching for Michaela. I would also like to thank the wonderful people that have allowed our family and law enforcement on their private property to look for Michaela, and two very kind deputy sheriffs I talked with today. We as a family and Michaela's mother and father, so here's information from the father. Mother and father do go out and search for Michaela every chance we get. We work, we have children to care for, and other commitments. We try to keep things somewhat normal, even though it is not normal. Not at all. We have to trust in law enforcement and their years of experience and training in dealing with missing persons. We love and miss Michaela every second of the day. We have shed thousands of tears and endured the cruelness of people's opinions on our efforts to try and find our loved one. We have also experienced extreme kindness too. Just know Michaela is being looked for. She is cared for. She is loved and missed, and the county sheriff's department have been working hard to find her. This is public, please share. So this is coming from another side of the family who's saying we are doing these things. We are looking for her. Law enforcement is helping. So it's very, very peculiar that there's a not peculiar, but it's very sad that there's a back and forth and miscommunication between the families. Very sad. Oh, pecan, or you've got friends and family in the area. That's great. Great, great, great. Yeah, I don't know. Everything I've heard about the 911 call is that you can just hear someone yelling help. So, I don't know. Yes. The neighbor said that she saw law enforcement coming into the HOA at 5:45 when she left for work. The call was placed at 5:04. I know that might seem like a long time for a lot of you, but if this is in a very rural area of Washington, 40 minutes is probably pretty normal. That's true. That could be a red herring from the boyfriend. Very true. That town isn't very large. It's kinda a mysterious town. A lot of excuse me, odd missing stories out of okay, I'll have to look that up. I'll look and see what else is, I don't think hey, Catherine. As soon as the phone starts ringing, recording starts when you call 911. So please, if you are in trouble, start talking and screaming. Sorry. We know that from Murdoch's case because they have, what is it, like 5 seconds before he thinks they've picked up and they were able to hear some information. So as soon as the phone, like Notre Dame says here, as soon as it starts ringing, if you're ever in trouble, start speaking because they will have that recorded. Yeah, Caitlin's just saying she was just curious, like, how long it took them to get there, between the call being placed and when they got there, and this is also just a neighbor saying, "Yeah, it was around 5:45." That's not a definite time. It could have been, 30 minutes, it could have been 36 minutes, it's just a general ballpark of it took around 40 minutes for them to get there. Hey, bee charmer. That's all I got on this one, guys. There's not a lot of information. I can check one last time to see if the aunt or there's a Facebook group I can share with you. See if they've updated anything. But very strange circumstances, and her face and her story does need shared. Let me put this up while I'm looking. This is in Washington, Kiko. I'm gonna put this up. You guys can screenshot this. Comment down and share that out on your social media accounts. It's got the best information, although unfortunately, I don't think it has the best picture of her. I think this one up here in the corner is the best clear image of her, but this has the best information. It absolutely does. Let me look one last time. Yeah, the aunt's been upset about people taking her flyers down and okay, so she shared, let me see. Let me share this with you guys. So she says, I'm not much of a flyer maker, but please share this. This was just 28 minutes ago. I just want her found. People can hate on me all they want. I don't care. I will get in the gutter and get dirty if I have to get bloody. This is my family, my blood, and nobody can understand unless you've been there. There is no waiting for somebody else to do it when it's not their kid. Where is she? I hear the desperation in her voice here too, like in her comment there. Like she just desperately wants her to be found, wants information on it, and, I get that. I get that. Kinda like Papa Jones was talking about earlier, a lot of times with family, you could be out there pounding the pavement and your emotions show through instead of logic, and so, unfortunately, that can be interpreted a certain way. I think she just wants some answers. But maybe some of the information could be discussed amongst family members and put out more cohesively. I think that would be really good. This was an hour ago. She's just sharing old stories that we've already. This one says Somebody knows something, speak up, come talk to me, tell me where she is. She is offering a reward. If you think there have been a couple false sightings of her, and they didn't lead to anything. It's unfortunate though that they've gotten false sightings of her. It's truly, truly heartbreaking. I don't think there's anything else new. This is where she was sharing that she actually went to the county sheriff's office and they didn't even have a missing poster of her up, so she had to put one up, which is sad. Okay, and then the rest is all the information we've already talked about. I don't think so. I hope not. I don't know if she shared this story at all. I just heard about it when I got back, so I don't know why anyone would take posters down. It's cruel. That is completely cruel to take a missing poster down. Why would anybody do that? It, it doesn't make any sense. Um, and then I want to share. Let's see. I don't know yet if I'm going to do a live on him or if I'll just make a video. But this is another case I'm following really closely, and a lot of stuff it's moving kind of fast. But this is Mukyak Yak. Talk about a mouthful. Mukyak Paul Yak, and he is a coach in Florida. He is missing. Um, I shared it out on my community tab the other day. There is a $20,000 reward right now. He's 6'4", 160 pounds. He was last seen on May 20th, so 4 days ago, at 6:30 a.m. on 365 Southwest West 10th Street around Village Academy. If you have any information, there's a number there, but go with the number that's on my community tab. Um, his case is kinda peculiar too. He went out for a run, but law enforcement says he went out for like, he walked away from his home. Oh, wait. I'm telling you guys this the whole time, and I've got this up, and you can't even see what I'm sharing. I'm sorry. There we go. That's Muck Yak Yak. And, or you can call him Paul. Friends have said you can call him Paul too. And, but he's a coach. He's a beloved coach. He's a avid runner. He almost made it to the Olympics. He's, what was it, AUU basketball team. He never misses a game, and he has been missing. He was last seen on some ring footage. Uh, Law enforcement said it was walking away, but their friends said no, it looked like he was getting ready to go for a run. But we'll have a different live about that. I just want you guys to check out my community tab on him. And yeah, I don't think it's I don't think he's very athletic build, and it, I don't think it's like a kidnapping. Something happened to him. Um, but yeah, we will do another live, or I'll do a video on that. Sometimes I like to do videos so I can put the information in better. But that's all I've got for now, guys. Remember to share out Michaela's poster. Share out her story. If you're in that area, please share it out on your Facebooks. And if you have any information at all, please call that 1-800-222-TIPS. And I'll keep following along and see if anything else happens or pops back up. Monsters hears anything. Hopefully she'll email me and we'll get some more information to you guys. Mind of Monsters, thank you for your video, and I will share that out on my community tab too. And you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Love, love.